Good evening and welcome to yet another episode of the South African of the Year Daily Show here on ANN7 Channel 405. The show where we go into the lives of our extraordinary and inspiring South Africans doing incredible things across the country through the lens of reflection and progression. My name is Maps Mapunyani and I'm your host. In today's episode, we have a very charismatic woman who's going to be sitting on our blue couch. She is well known for being in the feature film Catch a Fire, as well as, of course, Isidingo. And if you haven't seen her on your TV screens and your magazines, she's been all over there. You just need to get out a whole lot more. Of course, I'm talking about Jay Anstey. Jay, thank you so much for joining us in studio.
Thank you, Maps. Thanks for having me.
It's such a pleasure to have you here. It's good to see you again. And it's great to see you so happy and smiling. And if there's one thing I've known about you is that you've been like that your whole life. So tell us about Jay as a child.
Jay as a child, I was a fairy child, actually. My parents are super hippies, so I was naked and barefoot in the garden every day. And we just have a very free-flowing, happy family. Positivity is key. Quality of life is the most important thing, and happiness is definitely a choice.
How much of a role would you say that's played into the person that you are now? And how much have you actually even changed since then?
I'm not naked all the time. That's changed. No, it's exactly, I'm who I am, and consistency is very important to me. My family is super close. My sister and I are very close. She just moved to Thailand, so it's really sad that she's not here. But my family plays a massive role. We speak every day. They're very chilled, also in the industry, though we don't really talk about work. But it definitely has shaped who I am, but I've also maintained who I am.
Your school life, how was that? And what did you always want to, or where did you see yourself being one day? You know, your dreams and your aspirations.
My dream was to be a secretary.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I'm going to be so good at this. I love stationery. So I was like, I just want to write stuff down and answer phones. And that dream didn't come true. But my school life was weird because I did primary school. I played a lot of sports. And then I did 1 year of high school. And then I was like, I actually love acting. Like, this is something I really want to do. I don't like wasting time. So I said to my folks, let's do homeschooling. I just needed to do 9 and 10, 11 and 12, which I did in 2 years. And I also started a year early, so I matriculated when I was 15.
Wow.
When I was 15, I finished school and I just started working from there.
Yeah. People actually forget just how young you are. And still with that, you've got quite a bit of experience in the industry too. Well, we actually managed to get a chance to spend some time with you, and this is us spending some time in Jay's space.
Hi, I'm Jay Anstey. I'm 25 years old. I'm an actress. I was born in Joburg, born and bred, lived here my whole life. Grew up in a very eccentric household of theatre people all the time. That's what I grew up with. My dad begged me not to become an actor, so I disappointed him and became an actress. When I was about 13, he said to me, do you want to pursue this? I don't think it's a good idea, but if it's what you want to do, I was like, yeah, I think I'm ready to do on-screen stuff, because they didn't let me do on-screen until a certain age. And I auditioned for this TV series, American TV series, and I got the part, and I was so excited. So that was my start in the industry, and the bug got me from that point. And then I decided, I'm young, I want to spread my wings, so I left and I started to do other films. I did Tropic Island of Treasure, Strictly Come Dancing, which was so not me, but I did it because I thought it could be something fun to do. And this is where I am today. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a complete hippie. So as much as I'm in this industry, it doesn't define me, and it's not who I am. So I love animals, I love nature, I love looking after the earth, I like being barefoot, I like being in nature. That is the #1 thing for me, and that's who I am authentically. I am an extremely positive person. If there's anything hard in life, what I do, and this is terrible probably, I start to file it in my brain as something I can use in my job. So if a tragic event happens to me where I experience fear or emotions I've never felt before, I put it in my mind as a chapter of my life that I can gain something from, bring out when I need it in a character. But I also understand that everything happens for a reason. I know it's a cliche, but the universe won't give you something you can't handle. So whatever comes to me, I go, great, this is this beautiful lesson I get to learn. I learn from it and I move on. Life is what it is. It's so beautiful. I absolutely love being outdoors. So I hike a lot and I've done some really extreme hikes. I love dancing, I like feeling freedom. So yeah, so long as it involves grass.
Jay, I can see we're going to have a lot of fun today, especially judging by that and, of course, the personality that you have. How did you get into acting?
My dad's an actor. So I was raised in a family of actors and theatre people and crazy people coming over to the house. My dad would come home. You know, normally your father comes home in work attire. For us, it was like a tutu. Sometimes it was a wolf mask. Other times he was Dracula. So it was like very eclectic at home. And I just feel like I always knew that I was quite empathic. So when you tell me a story, I genuinely try and feel what you were feeling in that moment. So I just thought, wow, that's a beautiful trait to have, to be able to relay that. And that's sort of how I got into it. I thought the most important thing is compassion and empathy. And through film and through acting, you allow people to feel. That's the point of it, to allow people to open up and to feel emotions. And that's sort of why I got into acting. It just sort of happened. I loved it. I loved playing different characters, and it just sort of fell into place.
A very free and open and liberal upbringing that allowed you to obviously harness all of that.
Yes.
But it's something that seems to have naturally just come to you and you've naturally grown into. But you're of course a very confident and fun person, but was it always that easy when you started off going for auditions and castings and starting to get your first job? What was that sort of first experience trying to fight off the nerves and trying to really be in a solid place to give off the best audition you could?
When I was 3, I started doing voiceovers. So I'd sit on my dad's lap and he would say a line and I'd just say it exactly the way he would say it. So I was very comfortable with that, but my folks never wanted me to be on screen because of the pressure. And you know, when I was about 13, my dad was like, hey, is this something you really want to do? Do you want to be on screen? I was like, yeah, sure. I went for an audition. I was really chilled about it and I got the part, and it was for an American TV series with Catherine Bell. She was supposed to play my mom. The day before I left to shoot in Cape Town, they called and they were like, Jay, you're too tall and you look a bit too old to play your daughter. So we're casting a 7-year-old in Cape Town. And I was gutted. I was like, I'm never auditioning again. I was just so devastated. And my mom's never forced me to do anything. And she said, there's an audition that's coming up and you're going to go and audition. I was like, I'm not going. She forced me to go. I was so miffed during the whole casting process. I got a call back, another call back, and that's when I got Catch a Fire. So it's all to my mom for just giving me that extra push. And when I was on set, it was just so surreal. There's someone who's designated on the call sheet to hold my umbrella. I was like, what kind of a life is this? Like, I want to do this every day.
At what age were you then?
I was 14.
Oh, wow. So you already started getting to the whole acting thing then?
Quite soon. And my first role was on an international movie. And I got to play Tim Robbins' daughter, and I worked with Philip Noyce, who's the director of Rabbit Proof Fence, Salt, Revenge. So he's unbelievable.
Wow.
And he taught me a lot, as well as Susan Sarandon, who was married to Tim Robbins at the time. She taught me a lot as well.
Wow, already
Yeah.
such incredible interaction at the age of
Just
14.
lucky.
Well, if you want to vote for the very lucky but also very talented Jay Anstey, all you need to do is SMS PERS, that's purse, and the number 3 to 43043, or you can email person number 3 to SATY2016@ann7.com, or just go to our website www.ann7.com and follow those instructions to cast your vote for her. And we're going to continue the story a whole lot more to find out a lot more about Jay Anstey. Jay, Catch a Fire is a story that spoke about terrorism during the apartheid era. What was it like preparing, beg your pardon, for a movie like that and that kind of a role, and what goes into that?
I obviously was born in 91, so I have no understanding.
You were born free, essentially.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? Because that's something we would learn in school as part of history.
Yeah.
So I met Patrick, the guy who the story was based on. I met him and we were just chatting and he spoke to me about everything, and what a fascinating human being. It was like, it feels like a different lifetime, kind of is. But to play that was very interesting, and I was just really happy that my character wasn't hardcore, into, apartheid, yeah. So I was just really glad she was like a free spirit child as well.
Yeah.
But it was such an incredible role to play, to work with all these incredible people. It really started the bug.
Tell us about that role and some of the highlights, because you've gotten such an amazing role still at such an early stage in your career. You kept getting rewarded for your hard work with roles like this, and just the general feeling around it.
It started, I think I was typecast as the dramatic actress from that, because it was my first crying scene I've ever had to do, and I was so nervous. I didn't know what to do, and Tim was there and he helped me so much with getting in touch with that dramatic side. I've never studied, so it was very hard for me to have anything to relate to. I've never done drama or studied styles of acting, so it purely just had to come from my emotions, things that had happened. And at 14, you've had a pretty awesome life. But to get into the mind of someone else was the beginning for me, to understand, to be able to put yourself in a completely different space. Was very challenging, but with the people around, it worked out so well, and I learned so much. Would
you say that you managed to snap out of character quite easily? Because I find with you, if people have managed to get the privilege of actually spending time with you, you're really good at just snapping that on and off whenever you want. And I feel like you've used those tears to your advantage a few times.
No.
And just switch them on, no?
No, I haven't. I totally haven't. That's important to me. Being who I am is so important, and maintaining that, being consistent, like I said. But I'm also not one of those, I must be an actress, and I don't like to indulge in that kind of stuff. It's a job. So as much as you can feel the emotions, you have to be able to just switch it off. Because if you take on all those heavy emotions, it's not good for me. I'm a happy person. I don't want to be sad all the time.
So would you say just when it's needed, you are a method actor? Or would you just say you just snap into it whenever you need to?
I can snap into it. Unless it's a sleeping scene, then I'm a method actress. Then I'll fall asleep.
What's the one role that you've always dreaded doing, or that you did dread doing and you've had to end up doing it?
I did a film called Sleep is Wake.
Oh, yes.
And that was really hard for me to do, because the guy who's playing my love interest is a family friend. He's friends with my dad. He's the same age as my dad. So it was really uncomfortable, and that was my first sex scene. It was my first sort of that kind of vibe. And it was really hard for me, because I'm quite a prude, actually. I'm not a very overtly sexy kind of girl. So that was really, really hard for me to play.
People always assume that those kind of scenes are very easy, and it's usually just, must be for the craft, just easy to get naked in front of people. But those naked scenes were quite intense. Was it quite a bit to get over?
Definitely, and it was very uncomfortable, and it was meant to be uncomfortable to watch and to play. But I guess I was 20, 21 when I got it. And girls naturally are very conscious about how they look and their bodies, and that really took me out of everything, and it made me go, you know what? Be free, be comfortable with who you are. I was a size 12, I think, at that point, and I was like, I'm gonna rock it, and I'm actually quite comfortable. So in a way, it gave me more confidence in some backwards sort of way.
And you also mentioned the fact that you have such a close relationship with your parents, and your dad was an actor, and he understands that side of things, but should have been, I imagine, quite hard for them to watch something like that, or for you to watch that with them.
Maps, they are not allowed to watch it. There are certain things. There's like maybe 3 projects I've done where I'm like, I'm sorry, but only when I'm dead will you be able to watch this. Because it's really uncomfortable. I don't want my parents to see me like that.
But you don't think they've almost made a plan behind
They've tried to be
your back
sneaky,
to
but I've
actually
caught
watch
them.
it?
I've caught them. They're not going to get away with it.
What kind of reaction do you think you'd get from them?
I think they'd be proud. I mean, I think they'd be able to watch it from like an outsider's point of view, but it's just so uncomfortable for me. I don't want my dad to see me naked with his friend. That's just weird.
Well, we also got a chance to spend some time with Jay and her friends. Take a look.
Jay's a loving, compassionate, beautiful human being that has really colored our lives so beautifully since we've met her.
No, Jay is one of the best people that I know and the best friend that someone can ever have.
Jay is a very special friend to ours. Like, she has played such a solid role in our relationship and in our lives since the moment we met her. She's such a beautiful girl that really just brings sparkle to any situation and lights up any room.
Yeah, Jay's been my best friend for over 4 years now. We actually met at the J&B Met when Gert was dressing her. And from that time we have never left each other's side.
Jay has always been such a little fashionista, and she just loves fashion so much, and she knows her own style so well, and she loves playing with different things. The first time I met Jay, I actually thought that she was black, and I had this amazing dress that was going to go with her beautiful caramel skin tone, and when she walked out through the door, I was like, oh my word, and now what? Luckily, I had this gorgeous pink dress at the back, and I pulled it out, and it was probably this big and as tight as a glove, but she wore it and she rocked it. It was such a beautiful day.
You out and cut you loose without any regrets. To shut you out and cut you loose on head.
She's such a free spirit and such a kind-hearted person with compassion for everything and everyone.
That she has for nature and the love that she has for animals, and how she just brings that into her life and always teach people about that. And she's a vegetarian and a vegan, and she's always educating people on that in such a kind, nice way that it's actually inspiring to live accordingly.
So are you a vegan?
I'm a dirty vegan.
Yeah.
So I've been vegetarian since I was 6, and I've obviously done a lot of research now about the dairy cows and dairy farming. So that's my last straw. I'm gonna go full vegan.
Oh wow! So, so the spirituality is sort of to that point. How you keep in touch with nature and everything.
Yes, there's a whole thing about it, about your pineal gland and how if you eat meat, it blocks your third eye. So I want to be open to everything. So no meat, no dairy.
Which probably helps you perform a whole lot better as well.
Well, I hope so.
Gert and Vic had lovely things to say about you. What's that relationship like?
Oh, it's actually so beautiful to hear them speak about me. Obviously, you don't say that as a friend. You just sort of are in each other's company. But I don't know what I'd do without the two of them. They mean the world to me.
They mentioned just how incredible and how beautiful you are, and in the industry, you know, I spoke about how harsh it can be, but it can be extra harsh on a female, and you women have to deal with quite a lot from whether it be individuals or media or certain situations or sometimes one another as well. It can get pretty catty, but one of the pressures you have is that stigma of beauty that you always have to keep at a certain level to feel accepted. What are your thoughts on that, and how do you deal with that? Because you seem at the same time to try to keep things as natural as possible, to give people as much of Jay as possible, the honest Jay, and not put too much pressure on yourself to always be unreasonably beautiful, but you still manage to be unreasonably beautiful anyway.
That's really sweet, Mavs. Keep talking. Well, I think, like, for me, beauty is a very strange concept. My mom always used to say to me, I have like filtered eyes. I had a friend in primary school, she was my best friend, we went and got belly rings together, we did everything together. And a few years later, I hadn't seen her, and my mom's like, how's your friend Steph? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, I haven't seen her in a while. And she's like, oh, I heard she lost the weight. And I'm thinking, what weight? I didn't see at the time that she was like, she was obese, and I like did not see it. So I have a very skewed perception of what beauty is. Like, to me, I look at specific features on your face, and every feature is beautiful on its own. I don't look at like a full package. That's not what's important to me. And I know this is so cheesy, but it really is who you are and how you feel about yourself that makes you beautiful. And I don't really care if you don't think I'm beautiful. It's okay. Like, I will live. That's not like my goal in life. My goal in life is to be kind and to be compassionate and to be loving and to be happy. And if you're doing those things and if you are those things, then you're beautiful.
And obviously in this industry, I'm sure, being the type of person you are, you've been forced to do some things that were a bit different to you and made you feel a bit uncomfortable or not what you would naturally go for.
Yeah.
Things like vampire facials.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was intense. I wasn't even supposed to go and do it. Sash was supposed to go and do it, and she phoned me last minute. She's like, can you please go? I can't make it. I was like, oh, a facial. That sounds lovely. And then I got there, and there were needles, and I've never done anything like that. But I thought, oh, you know what? Just give it a bash. You're here now. But yeah, it was just an experience, and it was quite a scary experience, but amazing.
Oh, geez. Well, remember, if you want to vote for Jay Anstey for the South African of the Year, all you need to do is, it's Personality of the Year, isn't it? Yeah, we can make you South African of the Year. Remember, if you want to vote for Jay Anstey for Personality of the Year, she's of course one of those nominees. All you need to do is SMS the 4 letters PERS, that's purse, and the number 3 to 43043, or email purse3 to SATY2016@ann7.com, or you can go to our website www.ann7.com for more instructions, and you can get a chance to get that VIP experience at the South African of the Year Awards on the 25th of November. And also, if you're watching the show, be sure to remember that you can also try and find the trophy. Where is the SATY trophy? Let us know where that is, and be specific where on our set, and you could win yourself a prize as well. So we'll be back with some funny games, chatting to Jay Anstey and see what her knowledge is like on South Africa.
So I want to do everything, but the number one thing I want to do, and this is really bizarre, is I want to own my own backpackers. And I want to have a cow as a pet, because I'm obsessed with cows.
Welcome back. We're still in studio with actress and nominee for Personality of the Year category in the South African of the Year Awards, Jay Anstey. We've been having a lot of fun off air, and you love to have your fun and games. So we have a little section for you, which is trivia. I've been lucky to play a couple games with you, so I know how much you love games, but knowledge perhaps maybe something that doesn't strike your interest. I know you just love to just enjoy every present moment in life and just have fun, but you also love reading, and you love being outdoors, so you'll probably know the answers to these because you have interacted with one or two of these people, or have also crossed paths with them at some point, and they are quite popular. So I'll try and make it fairly easy for you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Question number 1. He was the former Vusi Moletsani in Isidingo. What's his name? Come on.
I really don't know, guys.
Meshach Mavuso.
Oh, Meshach. Okay. I know him. I didn't know his character name. How funny.
Yeah, there we go. He's been a friend of Nelson Mandela for many years, prepared for his role as Mandela by watching some tapes of him to perfect his accent and rhythm of speaking. What is his name? In fact, when Mandela passed away, some people said rest in peace to the wrong person.
Oh, my word. I didn't hear about that. Is it an American actor?
American actor.
Is he hot?
I don't know if
Come on, Mavs, give me something.
505 era.
Is it? The only person I know who played Madiba was Idris, right? Morgan.
Morgan Freeman. There we go. I'm going to give that to you. Question number 3. She was the first South African to ever win an Oscar. She won Best Actress at the award ceremony in 2004 for her lead role in the movie Monster.
Okay, Charlize.
There we go. Question number 4. Who is the famous US couple that recently announced their divorce?
Brangelina, got you.
The answer is actually Brangelina, because I was going to ask you what the nickname is for them. That's perfect. There you go. You got it. And question number 5. So far you got 3 out of 4. Question number 5. He's known for his roles as Imhotep in The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. What is his name? South African actor.
South African guy.
Yeah,
yes,
you know this. You
the
know
bald
this.
Guy.
Yes.
And I just watched The Mummy the other day. What does it rhyme with?
Nothing rhymes with it.
You got to just say sh in front of it. I do know who he is. I'm not good with names.
I don't know what clue I can give you, honestly.
The beginning of the first letter.
There was a... Oh, it's an A. Okay, I'll say A.
A. Oh, no, I have no idea.
What was the... In fact, this is not 30 seconds, so I'm going to have to tell you the answer.
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
sorry. Arnold Vosloo.
Arnold
You knew this.
Vosloo.
You knew
Yes.
this. Okay, so 3
I
out of
said
5.
the bald
3 out of
guy.
5. That's
I
really
was
good. I mean,
right.
you described him to me. We could find him if we had to, go with the police, but we probably would need a name to make it a whole lot quicker. What's on the bucket list for you, Jay?
Ooh, the bucket list. I've got so many things because I want to do everything. But the number one thing I want to do, and this is really bizarre, is I want to own my own backpackers, and I want to have a cow as a pet because I'm obsessed with cows. There is something so cute about a cow, and I've always wanted a cow. So that is the number one thing I want to do.
And then you obviously want to protect the cow and make sure that it doesn't get used for anything else.
Well, I'm going to rescue the cow.
Do you actually use any leather goods at all?
Nope.
Wow. And then what have you been up to in Cape Town? I saw that you've been doing something pretty amazing. You're up to another big project. You just got back now.
Yes, I did. Obviously, I'm not allowed to speak a lot about it, but it's a US TV series from NBC. It's called Blood Drive, and I had a crazy character. Another one my parents can't watch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're nominated with people such as Bobby van Jaarsveld, Bonang Mateba, Katlego Mabuwe, Robert Marawa, Somizi Mhlongo, Tato Mulamu. Where would you sort of put yourself amongst those people, and how does it feel to be nominated with them? And if you could vote for either one of them, who would you give your vote to?
I think it's crazy that I'm even in the category. It feels like someone made a mistake or misspelt a name. But if I were to vote for someone, I'd have to say Robert. He's just a wonderful human being.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Jay, thank you so much for your time. It really has been a pleasure to have you on the show. I wish we could make it a whole lot longer. It's always easy to just talk to you and get a conversation going, and you're doing amazing things. You've had such awesome experience, and it's great to see you sharing your talent with the rest of the world, and I can see you enjoying it, how happy it makes you. So all the best for that, and all the best for the South African of the Year Awards.
Thank you, Max.
Remember, if you want to vote for the lovely Jay Anstey in the Personality of the Year category for the SATY Awards happening on the 25th of November, all you need to do is SMS PERS3, that's the word purse, and the number 3 to 43043, or you can email purse3 to satyvoting@ann7.com, or go to our website www.ann7.com, and you can follow those instructions to figure out how you can vote for her or any other of our nominees that have been nominated for the South African of the Year Awards. And you can get yourself double tickets to the award ceremony as well as a VIP experience. But until next time, from myself, Maps Maponyani, good night.